Buying a condo as an investment in Kuala Lumpur, Foreigners Edition. Part 2, I could say. If you have not seen part 1, it's never too late to go back to my previous video, watch that one. I give an introduction to Kuala Lumpur as a city, as a market for investment in real estate. How that works on Airbnb, short-term rental, all these things, how is the baseline business case for Malaysians who invest there. Now in this video, I look at the investment opportunities in the condo market for foreigners. There are basically two main differences. The primary one is, as a foreigner, you're only allowed to buy condos that cost at least 1 million ringgit, which is about 200,000 euros. The other difference is it is very difficult for foreigners to get a mortgage in Malaysia. Now, what does that mean? The standard business case for Malaysians who buy a condo there is very boring. It is boring in terms of what's the property look like as a guest experience. It's as cheap and basic as it can get. Malaysians put in the least amount of capital and effort in their investment and they get an okay return. So why not? It's a no-brainer, right? Now, as a foreigner, you don't have that option. You have to spend a lot more, at least twice as much, I'd say, roughly 1 million at least. So to come up with a good investment, you have to get a lot more returns. So how does that look like? Is it even possible? And if so, how? I'm gonna do the calculation backward style. So in terms of getting a good investment return out of a condo that costs at least 1 million, or in this case I will go with exactly 1 million, how much profit, operating profit, do we need to get to make it a good investment? So the very passive income, no effort way does not work here, unfortunately. You can't treat it as passive income. You really have to treat it as a business. It needs some creativity, some effort to get that kind of profit and revenue that you need to make it a valid investment. So let's have a look at how much money you need, what kind of daily rates you need to get. Is someone actually making that a viable business in Kuala Lumpur? If so, how? And what does it mean for you? What can you do out of that? Now we see in other places in the world, in Asia and everywhere else, there are a lot of ways to make lots of money on Airbnb with extremely creative, amazing places. People are willing to pay for that a lot of money. When we look at Kuala Lumpur, there isn't much amazing real estate there on Airbnb. So what do we make out of that? Do we try ourselves, or do we say it's not possible or there's no market? I leave that up to you. And of course a condo doesn't have all the flexibility of real estate and a field a big house can give you, right? You have the restrictions of your little box that you can do a lot with, but it's that box that confines you. Now, on the other hand, a condo has a lot of advantages. You get an excellent location for a price that would not be affordable on landed property. You also get a lot of facilities that you could not afford on a small house. So these two are features you can get with a condo, and you can make them available on your Airbnb. Now the other two aspects on a condo are floor plan. That really sets the scene for the restrictions you have. When the floor plan is boring, the unit is small, you don't have many windows or anything, there's not that much you can do. But with an amazing floor plan, maybe a penthouse, maybe a duplex penthouse, you have a lot of space that where you can create your own experience, where you can create something amazing, and you can charge a lot of money for that on Airbnb. So that is what you need to look out for. Get a condo that offers you a lot of opportunities to create something, make something amazing out of it. Now, from a purely economical point of view, that means you need to budget for an additional sum of money to turn that 1 million baseline investment into some amazing space where people actually pay a lot of money for. So we budget here now 1.2 million and compare what's on the market. How much money can you get? With a baseline calculation, you need to get at least an average daily rate of 400 ringgit to make it baseline viable. But to be honest, for an investment that barely beats a savings account, I would not take on all that risk and put in all the work. So you need to get a lot more return for what you need to put in here and the risk you need to carry. So after some comparisons in the market, Airbnb, I aim for a target baseline of 650 Malaysian ringgit as an average daily rate. I take my 400 as the worst case baseline scenario. If things don't work out as planned, I still get as much money as in a savings account. And of course, I also look at the upside potential. What is the best case? If my business is really successful, I create an amazing place, I get great occupancy, can charge a high rate. What's the best case? Is it really worth it? And I played around with a couple numbers you see here, and I think a 10% return in the target scenario and an upside of around 15%, baseline if things don't go that well 5%. Keep in mind the leasehold duration is more than 90 years here, so we don't have a lot of cost on writing off our property. Now I think that is a very viable investment and worth putting a lot of effort in building that up if you have that passion and skill set, of course. So with all that said, my recommendation is, if you can bear the risk, put in the effort and have the capital, look out for a condo that really offers you opportunity in a great location with good facilities to create an amazing space, and you have the potential to build a great business on Airbnb, short-term rental, and really have something here. Now I myself, I'm trying that. I'm buying a condo in Kuala Lumpur that really offers all these opportunities, and I'm going to build a great space in there, and I believe it's going to be very successful on Airbnb later on, and I will post updates on this channel as the construction progresses.